They're here right now. There's something untimely about a 7-year-old boy asking his 5-year-old brother if he can kiss our 6-year-old. It's not just spin the bottle anymore, it's spin the iPad. And it's for that reason that on her 9th birthday she'll be getting a Gardasil shot and an IUD. Now wait a second, Daddy. Isn't this encouraging your daughter to have sex? No. Well, being alive and being an organism entices someone to have sex. I'm encouraging her not to have something that looks like cauliflower coming out of her tail when she gets older. And for those of you in medicine, that's a condyloma accumulata joke. Now, traveling is made much easier with technology. Google Maps and Apple CarPlay work together to give you the best route to your destination, alert you if there's police up ahead, and if there's any objects in the road. But how the hell did they do that? Have the NSA spy satellites been hijacked by the Google geeks? Or is there always a lead Googler exactly 1 mile ahead of you uploading the information? My guess, it's the latter. And the cops are pulling over the Googler for texting and driving. Now, many of you may have noticed that restaurants now offer an Ozempic menu. And what this means is a portion size conducive to a regular human being and not a herd of wild wildebeests. When did it come that we needed a monthly injection to serve as our life coach to be the adult in the room to say, put the fork down?
It says 2024.
Are we so much like that fish? When given the opportunity, all the flakes in the bowl will do so, gorge himself, and then burst? Well, yes, we are. Yes, we are. And we need Big Pharma to be the exception for self-discipline. I can see it now. A new drug to make you crave cryptocurrency and believe in conspiracy theories. Oh, wait. That drug's been on the market for years. It's called Fox News. Years ago, I saw a headline saying that critical thinking is hard. So, save your energy and just go with the propaganda. But MSNBC would have you believe that Biden is as sharp as an MIT graduate, where he forgot the name of Medicare during his first debacle. Or was it a debate? I can't tell. I don't really know. There's only one of them. Yet Hunter says, well, his mental gaffes are only secondary to Ambien. Now, our daughter loves to play hide and go seek. I often play with her, but I have a game you can play all by yourself, and it's called Put the Thing You Don't Immediately Need or Think You Will Ever Need in a Not-So-Familiar Space. And weeks later you realize, you know, I did like those Oakleys I was wearing when I was gardening last May, but I don't know where the sack they are right now. So you shell out a couple $100 more for a new pair. About a year and a half ago, my wife and I got a Generac generator. You know, one of those fancy ones that runs off natural gas with the automatic transfer switch and has Wi-Fi that can link to your phone. Well, last month, the Wi-Fi went out, so me, using my very non-technologically minded brain, went out to investigate. And the Generac is locked. So I searched the catacombs of my memory and vaguely recall getting a key from the very technologically minded fella who installed the generator, thinking, you know, you really ought to put this somewhere good. So I'm searching here and there and everywhere, whereupon I stumbled upon my old set of Oakleys. I'm not sure if it's early dementia or the throw in the towel early gene that's working, but I've got the location skills now of a blind eagle. What the hell happened to Operation Warp Speed? You know, that 2020 amazing creation of mRNA vaccines for COVID-19 under Trump 45 to Operation Warped Reality in Trump 47, led by a guy with a literal worm in his brain. Well, the larvae are talking and deciding the fate not just of the mRNA vaccines, but of all vaccines in general. Because you know what? Who doesn't want a resurgence of polio to greet our young people early in life? What I think we need is a vaccine against stupidity. Maybe it's because the primary voter, Ann Noodler, Billy Joe, from Marry Your Cousin Arkansas, read on conspiracyclown.com that damn vaccines have heavy metals in them and people can trade you on the newest cryptocurrency racket. This actually was a real conspiracy, guys. I'm not making this shit up. But it's perfectly reasonable to stick your arm in the hole of a bank of the Razorback River to snare that 200-pound catfish that may feed your cousin, who's also your sister, for 4 square meals that she's eating light. Now, our daughter, wherever she may be over there, has a hobby, and that's called pooping with the door open while we face her. And when she claims that she can't go unless we look at her, it must be parental disappointment that's acting as the cathartic. Now, I'm sure we're all familiar with the $12.5 billion a year scamming industry. You know, the psychologists who train these magicians of mental manipulation into preying on your fears and anxieties to reform your very being into a remodeled mold of angst. Well, they have emerged, they have transformed from asking for your zip code for that package you never ordered, and of course the unpaid tolls that are sent to you by a text from the country code number 63, which is of course the Philippines, to now requesting my 12 to 24 character code for my very much locked and very much non-existent cryptocurrency portfolio. I'm not sure what it says when we are getting conned out of things we got conned into. Now, historically, when people were really sick and dying, they could go to the hospital where they would get compassionate care. Nowadays, with mortality numbers possibly decreasing the attractiveness of a facility, absolutely nobody can die in the hospital. Marketing executives want the public to have this particular, shut up children, want the public message to be as such. You can bring whatever you can bring your your bag of whatever mangled brain you've got here, and we will fix you up. Even if that means transforming your pickled noggin into a squash, we are your Shangri-La. I think it's time to get real here, folks. I think it's time that Emeticis, home away from home health and hospice, merge with the Golden Corral. Baby back ribs up front and cremations in the back. The best part is half of your clientele is already there on Tuesdays and Sundays for deep fried MIs. Now, as the old man in me is developing in my mid-40s, I think about the small victories that we can have in life. Recently, I bundled my internet and cell phone service and I'm now saving $121 a month. Or $1,453 a year for you mathletes. And that's enough money to donate to public broadcasting to save from Doge cuts and to buy a year's supply of prune juice to make you as regular as a child with a fancy for fried lard. Last month, I bought non-refundable tickets to see a Fleetwood Mac concert at New Rome. And the ticket said, rain or shine. So naturally, the Nordic weather gods took this as a challenge and unleashed a deluge that would make a dolphin yearn for a towel. So naturally, the band did not go on stage during the torment. So I thought, even though no one's leaving, I will go out to move the car closer and get umbrellas for my wife, daughter, and me. And in doing so, my underwear got soaked. My feet, the water was up to my ankles in the parking lot. And so I thought, in typical old man provisor fashion, I'm going to ask Light Bright Tickets to see if they will make an exception for these non-refundable tickets. And weeks later, I got an email saying I would indeed be getting my $52 back. Small victories, folks, small victories. If we could just get our 6-year-old to sleep in her own bed, we'll have won the war. Now, one of the problems with communications app nowadays is that you get really close to people. So close that you may even share your cell phone numbers with. And although you're newly formed best buddies, you have no idea what this person actually looks like. So one day, a complete stranger comes up to you and goes, "Hi, Aaron." And while you'd like to return their glee and say, "Great to see you, Phil. How's it going?" all you can muster up is, "Good to see you, fella." And so, even though you and Ludwig von Codington are bonded electronically, you're imagining an 80-year-old German baron, when in reality, she is a 25-year-old Taiwanese pharmacy tech. People are very bad at math. Even though you may have a 1 in 5 chance of getting emphysema if you smoke, your brain says, "I've got a 4 in 5 chance of not getting it. So let's light one up." And you've got a 1 in 162 million chance of winning the Powerball. So let's buy 50 tickets for you non-athletes that may have gone over your head. Now, if I won the Powerball, I would keep working, but do a half-assed job. And if anyone complained, I would hire a band to follow them around 24/7, playing La Cucaracha. But it'd be stressful winning the Powerball because you couldn't hang out with friends anymore, because they would all be asking for handouts. So naturally, you have to get them kidnapped, end up paying the